health category will have to undergo COVID-19 testing once they land. Countries with which India has reciprocal arrangements for recognizing their vaccines will get some perks. Travelers from there may escape quarantine and will only have to self-monitor their health for the next 14 days.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, taking one more look today at the outcome of COP26. When the final Glasgow Climate Pact was revealed, much flack was directed in India's direction for insisting on a last-minute change in wording. As a result, the agreement calls for the phasing down of the use of coal as an energy source rather than phasing it out. It's a big difference. Some governments and many activists were furious with India for insisting on the change. But Mike Berners-Lee, professor at Lancaster University's Environment Centre, has a slightly different take.
We're either going to have a just transition or no transition at all. This has got to be made to work for every country in the world. We need to find a way of making it work for India. You know, there's a lot of poverty in India. A lot of their energy comes from coal. There isn't so much money to fund the transition to renewables. And somehow we've got to make it an acceptable proposition for them. So when we, for example, cut our aid budget, just before the COP, that sent out a really bad message. And, you know, in the critical 12 months we've got coming up now between the next COP, one of the best things we could do would be to put back that aid budget straight away.
And indeed, the Indian government's position is not that it's wedded to coal production forever, but that it needs more time and more support to shift away from it. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
A reminder again of our top stories. President Biden has told his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping the US will continue to stand up for its interests and values to advance an international system that's free, open and fair. China's leader warned Mr. Biden that encouraging Chinese independence would be playing with fire. Germany is temporarily suspending the certification process for the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and India has completely reopened tourism for travellers from 99 countries. That's the latest feature story news. I'm Benji Hire in London.
Calling all artists. KCHW loves to feature area musicians live on the radio. Come and perform live in the morning show and show off your talent. The KCHW Broadcast Center also features event space for your next concert, or take advantage of our audio and video recording gear for your next CD, YouTube video, or even a live webcast to the world. Studio recording and event center fees are nominal and support the Radio Guild. Call the Broadcast Center at 935-6627 or email info@kchw.org. Put yourself out there with a little help from your Northeast Washington Community Radio Guild and radio station, KCHW 102.7.
Yeah, thinking I should probably put that one on hold. Are you there, Val?
I'm here. Sorry, I was taking a sip of coffee.
Okay, I thought you were muted again, huh? All right, here we go.
Don't you wish you could mute me in real life?
Yes. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, 733. You've got Scott and Val live this morning. Thanks for being here. My sister Val live from Deer Park, Washington. What are you doing there? Is the new cat causing problems?
No, she's not causing problems right now. She's sleeping rather peacefully on my lap, so she's not chasing the cursor around the screen. That's always a good thing.
If you weren't wearing headphones just to cause problems, I would go, here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Oh, gee, thanks. She's only about 9 weeks, so I'm not sure she exactly knows that yet.
Val is a new cat mom, and she's been acting appropriately this morning. It's like you really wanted another kid, didn't you?
Yeah. If you're friends with me on Facebook, it's going to be really annoying because that's all I'm posting right now is pictures of her cuteness.
Her cuteness? Is that her name, her cuteness?
It's Lily, but she's also, I was telling you before we got on the air, for a 9-week-old kitten, her farts can clear a room.
Oh.
And so her nickname is Miss Stinks-a-Lot.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, I don't know. It's like whatever you do when you pick... Yeah, whatever you do when you pick her up, do not squeeze her belly.
Wow. I've never heard of a cat doing that before or noticed it. You know, like you do dogs, yeah, but not cats. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought they were gasless.
Yeah. Well, I kind of thought that too, but evidently kitten farts are a thing.
You probably thought that before you married Brad and then realized after you married him that he wasn't gasless.
Well, no, I knew that because one of the things after we got engaged, his mom told me, she's like, there's something you need to know about Brad. And I'm like,
no.
Okay. And she's like, that man can fart anytime he wants to. So I was warned.
Then you fell in love, true love, because he was just like your dad.
That's right. Minus the pull my finger.
Oh, Dad had lots of different things besides pull my finger.
Remember when he pretended to shake something out the bottom of his pant leg?
I was like, catch that frog. Okay. All right. Enough of that kind of talk. You're stinking up the place this morning. All right.
Welcome to the Scott and Val show.
Oh, wow.
Where they start the day talking about farts.
So let's start over, can we?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Rewind.
Good morning. Oh, nah. We won't worry about it this time. And probably next time. All right. Let's see. 44 and 22 for high and low today. Sunshine and clouds mixed together. Clear skies tonight. Cold temperatures down to 22. How about that wind this weekend?
Oh, my gosh. We were without power for a couple hours last night.
Oh, really?
It was howling. Yeah.
Oh. So I had to go up to the tower yesterday to kick a computer, just basically restart it. That's about the extent of my skills.
You kick it, you cuss, and you restart.
Yeah, and it was horrible up there. It was like a tornado. And once I got to the top, I realized I didn't have my phone if something went wrong.
Oh, not a good feeling.
No, and then I was like, should I turn around and go? You're already here. You know, it's a 20-minute. It takes 20 minutes to drive 2 miles because it's all uphill. And I was just kind of, what am I going to do? And the wind was, the trees are laying over, a third. And my concern was a tree falls all over the road and I can't get out. And I got to walk out, and it was, late in the afternoon. But it made it all safely. But man, it was windy up there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We had, I think the first thing that Brad's going to do this morning is go make sure or check and see how many tiles we lost off the roof, because that's always a thing.
That's always a thing, tiles from the roof?
It's always a thing, yeah. So little shingles all over the yard, but,
I got
a gallon bucket of little ceiling tar, and I'll fix it right up.
I got a text about 1:30 in the morning. It says, "Hey, buddy, your tarp didn't make it." So
I don't know if there was any way to secure a tarp good enough to survive last night.
No. I'll be afraid to go up to Kettle and see what unwintering has been undone.
But if you look at pictures from Monroe and Bellingham and everything on the other side of state, they've got waist-high water over there. Everything's flooding. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. Are we sinking?
What finally happened.
All right.
Seattle slipped into the ocean.
Yes. On with weather. 40 for a high on Wednesday, 26 for an overnight low, partly cloudy skies. Thursday, 38 and 29 with afternoon rain snow mix at 60%. Friday, 40 and 29 under mostly cloudy skies. And so right now, next weekend, looking mostly cloudy both days with a high of 40. Winter's coming. Those of you who thought we might avoid it, it appears to be on the horizon.
I don't think there's any getting away from it.
Grr.
But you know what? 49 had a pretty good, little bit of snow up there, and yesterday it all melted. So, yeah, they need some more up there now. So,
all right. So, radio station, just for fans of KCHW, we are back on lockdown. All right. I sound stuffy this morning. That kind of worries me.
That's one thing about COVID. Every time you have like a little headache, a little scratchy throat, a little stuffiness, you're like, do I have it?
Well, I think I've had 3 narrow misses. So people, volunteers, visitors, 2 of those came down with COVID. And that's always scary to get that phone call and say, "How do you feel?"
I pretty good till you called.
Yeah. Why are you asking? But in the past couple weeks, 3 times for me personally, 2 of them here at the station where others could be involved, and I just decided to lock it back down. I mean, we're still surging here, kind of playing Russian roulette, having people in a confined space like this, and my concern, not only for myself, but for the radio station and the volunteers, because we're all elderly. Well, most of us, except for Philip.
The kid amongst the bunch.
So that's, it's kind of a scary deal. And other people could get hurt. And then the fact that, I've made it public. There's a story in the newspaper and there's a story on their Facebook page. I'm headed for retirement, and nobody else knows how to run it yet. What's going on as far as all the wiring, government paperwork, that kind of stuff. Nobody's been shared with it. Not that nobody else could do it. It's just nobody else has been trained, and there's no operations manual. So if I die, there's big problems, for the board. And they've asked me that before. They asked me one time, so if you die, what should we do? And I said, just it'll run for about 2 weeks, problem-free, and then just shut it off.
Oh, pretty bad.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, but it would run before things really started getting out of whack, and maybe you could hear some things that weren't right, like old announcements and stuff like that. I said about 2 weeks, and then just turn it off. And the nice thing is you can just kill the power, and the transmitter automatically shuts down.
There you go. It's as simple as flipping a switch.
It almost is, until you need to flip the switch, and then something causes a problem. All right. Let's see. In news headlines this morning, Biden got his partisan win, and now his harsh reality sets in. So I had to click on that. What's his harsh reality? It just says, for more than an hour, President Joe Biden enjoyed the kind of political moment he had eagerly sought and long promised, surrounded by a bipartisan cast of lawmakers on the South Lawn of the White House for the signing of the landmark legislation yesterday, forged through compromise at both ends on Pennsylvania Avenue. And what that basically translates to is everybody got the pork projects that they wanted. You know what I mean, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
No
got the
doubt.
underhanded stuff and sending money out of our country and all the different dumb things they do with these packages that they hide behind, calling it a infrastructure bill. When you're going to find out going down the road, there's all sorts of places that money went that ended up that should have never left the country.
Oh, I'm sure. There's no doubt about that. And, if it was everything they were hyping it to be, overall it'd be really good for the nation. I mean, we're looking at support for internet nationwide and, rebuilding of roads and bridges. So, yeah, I mean, those things we really need right now. But like you said, what are the hidden item lines that, we're not hearing about right now?
And the government over the past 50 years has priced us out of the highway construction business. It is a ridiculous cost. That's $1 trillion will not be enough to replace, to replace all of our highways. Our infrastructure was built in the 60s, like our interstates and that kind of stuff. And sure, they get repaved and maybe adjusted here and there, but the underlying structures of those things were put in place years ago, and a lot of them, are in drastic shape. I have been around our country in the past 10 years, and it's not in good shape. And when I saw it personally, was managing a mobile home park once. Now, it was 400 units, which is a big mobile home park. But it had, slightly bigger than 1-lane roads, but not 2-lane. And just for 2 inches of roof seal, or whatever they call it, chip seal, across that park, it was $1 million.
Wow.
If you remember when they built the bridges coming out of Spokane before they started the new highway, it took them 3 years to build that bridge. 3 years at a cost of $700 million or something ridiculous.
Wow.
And they had 28 earth movers out there, but they only used 3 of them. In my opinion, that was a total scam and government bilking, because they built a cement factory out there and all this equipment. But I'm not kidding you, a tenth of the equipment out there, maybe even less than that, ever moved. It was like they moved all this stuff out there for show, and it took 3 years. And I did the math, and it was like, to go to Canada, it was like beyond $1 trillion.
Jeez.
You know, because they only did 2 miles of highway. Now, granted, it was 4 lanes going both directions, but if you're going to take that all the way to Canada, you would not be able to pay for it. Number one, that's why we don't have 4 lanes to Canada. Because the cost would be astronomical, because it isn't just recovering it, because that infrastructure for the 4 lanes isn't there. The land has to be purchased and all that kind of stuff that comes into play if there isn't easements in place. So it's a huge undertaking to do that. And since it took them 3 years to do 2 miles, I think I figured that out. They'd make it to Canada with all 4 lanes in 160 years.
Well, look at the North-South Freeway. How long have they been working on the North-South Freeway? And they've made it to Francis. So,
yeah. 160 years to Canada doesn't seem that far off.
Right. You know, and what we were talking about, some friends were up from California, and just kind of this whole infrastructure, and a lot of focus is being made on, well, I should go with the Green Deal maybe more than the when they're talking about what can we do to help the planet, to reduce carbon emissions and all of that. And there's such a huge push for electric cars. But talking to these friends in California, they struggle with having enough electricity
to charge them.
So now, just overall, I mean, you think about the rolling blackouts and the things you'll see when electricity usage is really high. So, electric cars sound really good as far as what it can do for, the ozone layer and all of that. But you have to have electricity to charge electric cars. And so how do you balance all of that? Especially, California, I would say, would be the biggest state to utilize that, electric cars. But where are they going to get the electricity from?
Well, and then there's other things. Is how much is the exhaust from our car making a difference to the ozone layer? People laugh, a lot of people that aren't into climate change or us affecting the climate, about the cow farts and the methane. But you got to think of the big picture, is that this planet has an obscene amount of cows on it. Okay, more than any planet should have. Okay, it's cow overkill, and they don't look at it that way. Cows are big business. Beef is big business, and there's a lot of cows out there making a lot of methane. It's abnormal for the planet. It's something that's out of balance. Now, I love it because when these things come out, people panic, say different things, then somebody figures it out. They figured out that adding like seaweed and kelp to a cow's diet makes them stop farting.
Or at least not stinky farts. Maybe that's what I need for the cat.
Yeah. Now, how do you convince farmers across the globe to do that? Because there's going to be, just like masks, there's going to be 50% of them that are going, oh, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. How do you spread that to where everybody goes, okay, this makes sense? And then the fact, and I'm a person who hates airlines. I'm just saying. I realize, I might want to fly somewhere someday and need them. But when an airplane uses as much fuel just to launch as you will in an entire year, your car's not making that big a difference. And there's over 100,000 flights per day. So we have all this combination of things affecting our ozone layer and the air we breathe. And
we'll never be able to point to just one thing. The idea is to make each little thing a little better and hope overall that it makes a significant impact.
You can't do nothing, because if we all sit back and do nothing, nothing happens. And there's too many nothings in that statement.
And by 2050, our planet will be uninhabitable.
Sure. or half of us are underwater and the rest of us are all clouded together, but we have no food because we let the bees die.
And you have no cows.
It sounds like really bad science fiction, doesn't it?
It does.
Or perhaps really good science fiction.
Let them eat static.
Thank you, Colin. All right. If there are aliens listening to this broadcast, because FM is line of sight, would you please come save us or teach us a lesson, one or the other?
I think we're teaching ourselves our own lesson here, but yeah.
All right.
Somebody please save us.
All right.
From our own stupidity.
I have another one. You've heard me make jokes about saving the millionaires. Well, here's some more millionaires that need saving. All right. Pre-pandemic, Packers football team, Green Bay, bragging about record profits. This week, they're seeking $90 million in fake stock offerings to their fan base to try and get support for the team. Guess they're having a money flow problem.
Well, when you pay a quarterback as much as they pay quarterbacks, no doubt they're having money issues.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure a lot of their revenue comes from selling things at the games, right? You've got all that merchandise.
What I like to call tchotchkes.
And so now you've had this whole, year and a half where there haven't been people in the stadiums buying that overpriced merchandise.
Definitely overpriced merchandise.
Right. So I'm sure that was a big hit for them.
I was really surprised I saw Seahawks beanies in the store, and it said every dollar of the sales was going to a nonprofit group. And I went, well, because you'd think they'd be hurting for money, too. So I was kind of surprised they were giving away proceeds from their hats. But that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So much better than the Packers trying to sell fake stock certificates to their fans. Here, frame this piece of junk. Thanks for the money.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's their own version of Bitcoin. They call it Packer Coin.
Oh, something. Yeah.
$300 a share. Yeah.
Wow.
There's some hungry quarterbacks out there, and this is your chance to help. And, of course, finance the $143 million reservation to Lambeau Field.
That's right. Well, I thought that was just for Rogers' COVID testing.
The 90 mil?
Yeah.
That's just disgusting. It really is. The whole pricing structure in professional sports is out of whack. When you look at all the problems in our country and that we have homeless living outside in droves, every large city on the West Coast is filled with homeless people. There's a problem in our country, and when you watch somebody play a game and get $20 million for the year, that's excessive.
Just a wee bit.
It's right up there with paying the head of the Red Cross $8 million a year. That just kind of stuff's wrong. It's a nonprofit. What are you doing?
Right. Exactly.
I'll do it for $20,000 a year. How's that?
Because that's more than we're making now.
Yes, which is zero. Speaking of which, still looking for a replacement. Somebody that would love to learn all about public radio and not get paid for it.
It's a labor of love.
Actually, behind the scenes, we are working on some kind of little package. It'll include maybe a stipend. And, so more details forthcoming.
Good deal.
I do have some people, though, if you go back to our Facebook page and look at the pin posting about looking for new volunteers, I have ones in the roster for bookkeeping, for commercial production, audio production, which is really nice, and somebody to do promotions and sales. So,
oh, sweet.
So half the team is together. Come on, we know you're out there. Right. Even the station manager's the roughest one, and it's still only about 20 hours a week. Want to do it, Val?
No. Love you, but no.
Okay.
I think the thing is I think we might have mentioned this on the air before, but you have it's usually the people that are retired that have the time to do things like that, but they might also be the one with the least technological skills.
Yes.
And so it's kind of that it is somebody willing to learn the technology side of it. And and that's hard for people that are a little older.
Yeah, because you've got to have the savvy to learn new software, because it'd be very radio specific, just like our software that runs the automation. I had somebody look at me one day all perplexed and goes, wow, did you have to go to college to learn how to use this? And I looked at him and I said, no, I read the manual. I literally,
which makes a huge difference.
which was really the first time in my life I'd ever tried something like that, besides a solder desk, and that didn't make sense. But I read the manual.
So speaking of reading the manual, I get a call from my mother-in-law last night, and they bought one of those big kind of tailgater speakers at Costco because my father-in-law, he's blind, and he likes to listen to the games on AM radio. Football, basketball, whatever it may be.
So now it's going to be really bad sounding, loud AM radio. Okay, I got it. I'm with you.
Exactly. So they buy this really nice speaker. It's the one with the flashing lights and the whole bit on it, right? And but she calls me and says that I can't get AM radio on this. And so the simple question would be, and I asked her, did you read the manual? And I don't know that she ever answered me. And thank goodness they live on the same farm, because I'm like, I'll be right over. So I go over, and sure enough, this new big speaker does not have an AM band on it.
Does it have FM?
And it has, your FM and your FM2, to save your presets and all of that. But it has no AM band.
I've seen a car like that.
Yeah. And so my father-in-law just does not understand this at all. Why wouldn't they have AM? How come they make stuff like that? And I'm like, because most people watch their games. And I kind of think AM is dying out. So they're not, you've got Sirius radio and all of that streaming. It's going by the wayside.
And the FCC this. The FCC has done a big thing called AM revitalization. And they compacted the band. They gave some of it away to internet, and then they opened it up for new stations. And they had 200 available, and only 10 of them got sold.
Well, it's mono, right? It's not even stereo.
Well, there is AM stereo now, but do you have a deck that's compatible?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I haven't had a new car in so long. I can't tell you.
It's exactly. And I think that's it. I'm really curious about the new cars, whether they have an AM band or not.
The nicest car I've owned in the past, I think, 15 years was that little Mercedes I had for about a year. And it was a 94, even though it looked new. So I don't know what the new cars got in them. I don't even get to ride in one.
Yeah. I'll have to ask a friend. She bought one recently.
Okay. Ask her if she has AM radio and if it's AM stereo, and report back to me. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it was just funny that that she didn't even feel comfortable reading the manual to see how to make this thing work.
Oh, full circle. That's right. The manual.
The manual. And it was the same. They recently bought an air fryer. We had already gotten the same one. They really liked it. So they go to get the air fryer. And she cannot make this thing work. It's simple. You push a button. And she can't get it. And I'm like, did you read the manual? It's just funny.
Yeah.
And the joys of living right next door to your mother-in-law.
That's like the first time I knew Mom and Dad loved me. They had left on vacation, and they had recently got their new, I don't know if you remember this nightmare, and other people can probably relate. Mom and Dad got the new gas furnace, got rid of the electric furnace, and got the gas furnace, and with it came a new digital thermostat. And I was about a mile away, so I'm over there reprogramming the thermostat about every 2 days, and they are so frustrated. And I'm like, this is amazing. You guys get up every day at 6:30. You can set it so the heat comes on at 6:15 and takes the chill off the house every morning. But it never worked out. So they went on vacation, and I knew the guy that had installed it. I called him up and told him who I was and stuff. And I said, is there any chance you have the old lever activated thermostat, and would it work with the new system? And he said, sure. And he came over and installed it back in for free. And when they got home, they were so excited that they had the one back with the levers. No? Hello? Did you freeze? All right, we've lost Val. But if you're looking on camera, oh, there she is. Hello? All right, we might need to go to break.
I'm back. We completely locked up on my end for a minute.
You did. You
Am
were
I here? Am I here?
Yeah, you were frozen. But it was a good look for you, though.
Well, next time I'm going to freeze. Give me, I want a little warning so I can do a look that's not completely stupid.
Well, I was going to mention earlier, you're looking good today because last week it was Hat Day, wasn't it?
Last week I think I had it up in like a clip or something. So,
okay. All right.
But I realized, being on the camera, that I really don't have to do much to my hair because you really can't tell how bad it is. So you just kind of stand back from the camera and go, okay, it looks fine on the camera.
You look good, Val. You look good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and back to your mother, I wanted to play that same sound effect I started off with again.
Let the meat static.
There's your AM radio.
There you go. Yeah, it's just interesting, I guess. Because I'm maybe it's just because I've always liked technology, but I'm not afraid to do a little research. I'm not afraid to read the manual. Just things like that aren't intimidating to me. Maybe in 20 years I will be. But yeah, it's just interesting to me.
And it's a big step for a guy to read the manual.
Oh, well, huge.
Yeah. It's like when I told that guy that, he said, how'd you learn the software? And I said, I read the manual. He looked at me like I was speaking Klingon. The what?
Ask for directions?
What's a
Read
manual?
A manual? Are you kidding? You've just broken the man code.
Oops. Oh, no.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
All right. There we go. We've thrown parents under the bus twice already today. Yay. We made fun of the Packers. I can't believe they're trying to sell fake stock to their fans to raise money because of COVID. That's lowest than the lowest low. And Biden got his $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which will basically just cover the city of Detroit. Yeah, they made a big deal out of that for a measly $1 trillion.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I just wish, I'd be happy with $1 million.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. All right, coming up on the top of the hour, KCHW Chewelah. If you have to be somewhere at 8, you're late. It's 8:03 right now. All right, let's move on to Bits and Breaks, Val. I'm going to kick it off with things Val didn't know yesterday.
Oh, right? Sweet.
I might even quiz you on some of these. Before they were sold nationally, Pop-Tarts were tested in Cleveland in what year?
Oh, let's see. Cleveland in what year? I'm going to go with, I'm trying to remember how young when we were, 1958.
Ooh, a little too early. 1963. That was a great guess, though.
Oh, well, I wasn't too far off. Only 5 years.
So, this one, I don't know if it's true. We might have to try it. It says, it's impossible to hum while holding your nose. And it doesn't say, like, if I'm just holding my nose or plugging my nose. So I'll try it with my nose plugged. No, you can't. You can't
really hum. Now I've got to try it too.
Yeah, go ahead. It'll be great on the camera.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to bring my because I've got a cat in my lap who's holding down a hand. So, okay, let's try this.
Yeah, it's kind of like the silent hum.
Yeah. I can still hear it in my head.
All right, that could be the
It's 'cause
dumbest
there's so
thing.
much space in there. It's kind of like an echo.
It was kind of like a plea for a hum. It's kind of like like somebody has their hand over your mouth. All right, so you cannot
Which
hum.
you'd like to do sometime.
Yes, you cannot hum while holding your nose. Huh.
All right.
All right, your stomach acid's strong enough to dissolve metal.
So that nail I swallowed will be fine eventually.
Oh, don't say that. Ow. What about the people that, like, we had in the odd news last week, a guy eating silverware. How come that's not digesting?
Well, it might take a long time, though, so,
Ooh. Or it was plastic silverware. No, he was eating metal, that's right. Because he set off the airport detector.
Because he was eating forks and knives?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
There's something in your belly. And it's not good when TSA decides to operate.
Either let us cut it out or you can't get on this flight.
Golf is the only sport to have been played on the moon.
Oh, I guess that's right. I'd forgotten about that.
That's right. And Mars is 100% inhabited by robots.
I did not know that.
Yes. Lobsters used to be so cheap that they were frequently used to feed prisoners.
Oh.
Wow, I'd have never left.
Yeah, no kidding.
3 hots and a cot? Yeah, what do they say?
Yeah. What can I do to get minimum security?
3 hots and a cot? Huh. And the hots
Some
are
hot
lobster?
butter?
Yeah, that's your punishment.
Butter.
Lobster with no butter.
Oh.
All right. Cheese is the most shoplifted food in the world. What?
No.
What? You ate a whole wheel of cheese?
Well, you do hear those stories where somebody tries to smuggle out a wheel of cheese in their coat.
Usually in their pants, though.
Yeah.
Does that look right to you?
Yeah. He's got the strangest looking butt I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that before. It's called cheese wheel butt.
I would have never got that. That is crazy.
All right. You can visit the world's biggest waterfall because it's actually deep underwater in the ocean between Iceland and Greenland.
How do you know that it's a waterfall if it's underwater?
Exactly.
Huh. Okay.
All right. But maybe it's got a down current to it or something. And then I've argued this fact. I've had it argued with me. So if you go out to Dry Falls in central Washington, they claim it was the world's largest waterfall. But after they, dammed up the Columbia there at Grand Coulee, it stopped.
So why would you do that?
Why would you stop it? Electricity.
Oh, that's right. We're back to electricity.
And if you drive down through that area, Banks Lake and all the little chain lakes going through there, and you can tell, and you'll go by Dry Falls, and you can tell that there was a massive amount of water flowing through there. All right. So I think that's the world's biggest waterfall. Val, what do you got? Bits and breaks.
Well, I'm sure I have something. Let me just get to the right
I tried to
screen.
warn you so you'd get there while I was talking.
I just didn't know if you were having like the, you did yesterday, I did today.
That's what I was doing. I figured you were used to it now. All right.
Well, okay. All right. So I'm so on board this morning.
All right. You got some holiday food for us?
I do. Holiday food. What do we do over the holiday season? According to a survey, people do the following at the holidays. They've eaten so much, they had to undo a button on their pants and loosen a belt. 48% of people have had to do that.
Unleash the Kraken.
Yeah. Which seems like kind of like a smaller amount than I would guess, because I thought everybody had to loosen a belt.
No, I think it's a man thing that does that. And that'd be about right. I think there's 48% of men on the planet. Or 48% of us are men? Okay.
There you go. 45% eat more than one of the same meal in a day. I've eaten more than one. Oh, gotcha. I'm just trying to figure that out. So they've gone to like the mother-in-laws and had dinner, and then they go to the parents and have dinner. So they've eaten like that.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure that out too, because I got a second Thanksgiving invite, and I was thinking about going back to him and saying, hey, can you change the time of your Thanksgiving to like 6 p.m.? So I can have 2 Thanksgivings? And if somebody's having
How
an
about,
early
do you
one,
want me to come?
Yeah, and if somebody's having like an early one at 11, I could probably make that and still get out to Val's.
There you go.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have room for my mother-in-law's rolls.
Oh, and I love your mom's buns.
Creepy every time you say it.
I know. That's why I say it. I'm creepy.
39% of people have eaten till they feel sick, unwell, or full to bursting. Again, that seems like a small number.
I wonder if that's actually ever happened to anybody. Can your stomach burst open? Like aliens? I've had too much turkey.
So my daughter-in-law, a little side note, we went out to eat one time, and she told me when we were done, she goes, I am so full. And I said, me too. I think we have food babies. And she's like, well, then I'm having twins. From a 9-year-old, that's pretty funny. Anyway, 39% have deliberately worn stretchy clothes to accommodate overeating.
I'm wearing my loose-fitting jeans today, baby.
I thought you were wearing the muumuu like last year.
Oh. Wow, did you just insult me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And I was so unprepared for it. Let's see. Do I have that? Oh, be careful. Be careful.
Okay.
Ah, Kirk, my old friend. Do you know the Klingon proverb that tells us revenge is a dish that is best served cold?
Like your spoiled turkey.
Hey, you don't have to eat any of it. 36% have eaten more than one dessert at a meal. Well, you have to sample everything, right?
That's right.
Yeah. 35% have eaten more than 3 meals in a day.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
And 20% have eaten an extra large midnight snack of delicious leftovers, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing. I forego bread, but if I am so lucky to get some turkey to take home from your house, I will be so eating sandwiches for a week. Just saying.
And it was funny because you heard about the big turkey shortage and everybody's freaking out. We might not have enough turkey. And so we were at the store and we're like, there was turkeys. And we thought, well, maybe we should grab one now. But the biggest one we could find is 14 pounds. And so we're like, well, we'll get this and see. So
chances of leftovers are slim is what you're already warning me.
No. So
Okay.
we decided that 14 pounds was probably not enough. And so we did find a 22-pound turkey. So, Scott, I think there will probably be a good chance of leftovers.
Oh, 22 pounds, so that's leftovers for Scott. What's everybody else getting? What are your boys getting? Because I know they take priority.
Well, they do, but I'm sure I can find something left over for you.
All right. Just don't, go out and shoot one of those greasy Eastern Washington turkeys.
No?
No,
Really? Oh, well.
They're disgusting.
Brad, we got to come up with a different plan.
The people that came up with, hey, let's start turkey hunting in Eastern Washington and introduce wild turkeys that, aren't native to there, and people will eat them. No, they won't. And very few people hunt them. I mean, and what kind of a boring hunt is that? I mean, I can run outside probably, and within 30, if you challenge me right now, I bet you I could leave the radio station and within 30 minutes be back with a live turkey.
Well, there's no doubt, but that's even more reason to hunt them because they're so overpopulated. But I have had a wild turkey, and it depends on how you prepare it.
I've heard that before, but I don't believe it.
Well, it was very good in chicken or turkey noodle soup. So I'll put it that
So
way.
it was a good soup, but how about the turkey itself?
They're chewy, of course, because even like when we've had to butcher our layers, it's chewy, but it's not horrible.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Shirley.
All right. I've had it a couple times, and that was enough. All right. Yeah. But, yeah, it was not the best idea, ever made by the state. Let's just say
No. Anytime you introduce a non-native species, there's going to be issues.
Yeah. They never think it through, though. All
No.
All right. So what happened to my lemons, Val?
Did you make lemonade?
Yes. Like many newspapers, the Las Vegas Journal-Review has a garden columnist who occasionally answers readers' questions. Here's the most recent question tackled by columnist Bob Morris. Question: the last time I counted the lemons on my lemon tree, I counted 13 or 14. Today I have only 6 lemons on my tree. Can you explain what happened? Bob's reply is, well, I think someone stole your lemons. If a rat or other vermin ate the fruit or it dropped on the ground, the remnants of the fruit would be near or still hanging on the tree. Humans pick fruit still immature, and they dump it when it doesn't taste good. Unfortunately, lemons and limes never ripen after they've been picked.
I want to see the pucker response on that.
All right. You got some tips to keep my home safe?
I do. A Portland TV station wanted to give viewers some advice on how to keep their home safe from burglars, so they went straight to the source in the form of questionnaires sent to, 86 inmates serving time for burglary in Oregon, and here's a sample of the responses. First of all, you have to avoid tip-offs. NRA sticker on car bumper equals lots of guns to steal.
Wouldn't that be an opportunity, though? I probably wouldn't make a good criminal. And wouldn't that make sense, though, that there's a greater chance of you getting shot by robbing that house?
Well, you would think so. I would look at it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Avoid tips-offs take 2. Would drive through upper-class neighborhoods looking for many things, like porch light on, with all window blinds closed.
Looks like a sign no one's home, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
All
right. Early morning or afternoon is prime time between 12:30 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. Anyone that was home for lunch should be gone by then, and most kids should still be in school.
Ooh. All right.
That's interesting because I guess, in your mind you think of the stereotypical burglar that comes in at night or whatever. But that makes sense if you want to make sure nobody's at home.
Yeah. Especially if you're like casing a neighborhood. Not that we're giving people ideas.
Every inmate would knock on the door first. If someone answered, somebody said, sometimes I would wear nice clothing and print a questionnaire off the internet and carry a clipboard and see if they could spare a moment for an anonymous survey. Another said he'd ask about his lost dog. So they have some reason, come up with some good excuse for knocking on your door.
And then if there's nobody home and they don't answer, well, they break in the back.
Exactly. One guy said, in my opinion, I think homeowners should always leave a TV or radio on.
Ooh, there's a good tip, huh?
Yeah. But, I mean, don't you do that often anyway? I don't know. Okay. Dogs are a deal breaker for me, said one man or woman or whoever they interviewed. Big breeds, home protectors are the best to keep people out. So get a dog, leave a a radio or TV on, be home between 12:30 and 2:30. Take that NRA sticker off.
And keep your blinds open at night so people can watch you.
Exactly, and you should be fine.
Oh, wow. Is your pet an idiot?
This is a trick question.
We love our pets, but sometimes they do dumb stuff. What's the dumbest thing your pet does? Well, let's see. My cat has poked herself in the eye indoors, put a hole in her eye indoors, and also backed into something and put a hole in her backside, an extra one. She made a new one.
Oh,
possibly
goodness.
Indoors. How do they do it? It's not like I leave knives and needles laying around.
I think the stupidest thing, we had a dog that was not very intelligent, beautiful dog, not very smart. And he never learned to lift his leg when he went to the bathroom. Oh. And so you'd be playing ball with him, and you'd throw the ball, and he'd go to get it, pick it up, and then realize he had to go to the bathroom. So he would drop it. And then because he didn't lift his leg, he squatted, he would pee on the ball and then want to continue playing.
No, that's your ball.
Yeah, that's your ball. I'm good. Not playing anymore. Game's over.
All right. It's sad that I visualized that. Thanks a lot, Val.
You're welcome. him.
Here's a guy who says, my dog was terrified of thunder to the point that she would need to get on someone's lap and shake for hours. Here's a small list of things she often mistook for thunder. The UPS truck. Any song with a small amount of bass. A plane flying overhead. A cloud shadow if she was outside.
Poor
right.
dog.
There's one that says she'll go to the back door and ask to be let out, see if it's raining and change her mind. Then she'll go to the front door and ask to be let out, see it's raining and change her mind. And then she'll go to the side door.
We have had cats like that. Yeah. And then when they see it's still raining out the front door, then they look at you like you've in some way done this on purpose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mooch asked to go out the other day, and I thought, okay, I'll take her for a little walk. I'll walk her outside, and I opened the door, and it was raining, and she just went, I was like, oh, you don't like that, do you? It's like it was a weird kind of grunt thing. I was like, oh, she doesn't like that. All right. Here's a dog that chases the shadow of the thrown ball rather than the ball itself. Another dog that is confused by its own farts. Turns his head
We're back to farts.
Yes, turns around and looks at his backside all puzzled.
Where did that come from?
I do the same
I'm going to
thing.
do that next time one sneaks out.
Me too. Oh, wait, I already do.
Look how confused.
Here's another one that says, whenever my cat chases a spider and eventually catches it, she lifts up her paw to make sure it's still there, allowing it to escape and hide. Yeah.
Well, he start the game all over again.
Yeah, and, I'd say she ends up with the spider, 60, 70% of the time. I think she finally was like, okay, it's going to get away. I got to quit doing this. And I think did I ever tell you this story? And I might have said it on the radio before. I had a cat doing that once, and she lifted up the paw, and the spider was gone. And then she realized it was on her leg, and she jumped in the air like 4 feet high. Like a cartoon where the legs go out, and a cat, when it jumps in a cartoon, the legs go straight out and come back down. She did the exact same thing and landed and took off. And I went, they're really as scared of spiders as we are, but they love the game.
Well, and they can eat them, so in the end, they know that they're going to be the winner.
Yeah. And I just run around going, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me.
Oh.
This one says, my cat is loud all the time, just walks around the house yowling its head off. Unless he's stuck somewhere, then he's quiet. Hours later, we're like, hey, has anyone seen the cat? And realized he had locked himself in a closet. All right.
How did he ever expect to know that he needed to be let out?
I don't know. Chocolate Lab, 9 months old, doesn't know how to drink water properly. Instead of standing and lapping up the water like a normal dog, he lays down on his side and dunks half his head into his water bowl and gulps it. He wouldn't do well in the wild.
Well, everybody, has seen a cat that is trying to figure out where the water line is, and so, accidentally sticks their noses in it and then gets all ticked off.
Yep. All right, men living with their parents, do they deserve a second chance, Val?
Well, I don't know.
This is like a woman's opinion. What do you think?
Well, we'll see what other people had to say before I go forward. YourTango.com claims there are 4 reasons to give men living with their parents a chance. You make up your own mind on this. Different men live at home for different reasons. Maybe he's helping out his parents, saving money, to pay those student loans, or just got fired and needs time to get back on his feet. But do you want a man who doesn't have a job? So there's that to add on to it.
Okay.
All right. Their earnings and benefits match those of men on their own. In 2009, a UK study found a still living at home man's earnings or benefits were the same as those who had left home and taken on greater social responsibility.
So he makes the same amount of money.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the headaches of his own house and a wife and kids and dog.
Oh, Mama still does his laundry, feeds him. Yeah. Well, that's why he has the same amount of resources. He doesn't pay for his own food or electricity or rent. No wonder why he has the same resources.
Loser.
How about lack of privacy? It forces you to be spontaneous when you're dating a guy who lives with his mom.
Okay.
All right.
Probably want to leave that alone.
Guy can't get too crazy when his mom and dad are right downstairs.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Chances of him tying you up and keeping you there, probably not big.
Probably slim.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, it'll help you get in good with his parents. What's better for the longevity of your relationship than a great relationship with his parents? By spending more time in their house, you get a better feel for who they are, as well as their likes and dislikes, and whether you really, really want to be their daughter-in-law.
All right. I see you're getting attacked by a cat.
I am getting attacked.
That is so cute on the camera. She just went for your face. Oh,
she did. She's moved the mic now.
All right, she just attacked the microphone. This looks fun.
And guess what? She's just farted.
Oh, wow.
Look at you. You're so darn cute. How can you be so stinky?
All right. I'll deliver some trivia so you can focus on your cat and just answer questions. You won't have to read anything, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Here we go.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
And it's my sister Val today.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, your cat looks like it got it.
I have a feeling this is going to be a catastrophe.
I see she had her 15-minute nap and she's ready to kill everyone now.
She is. She is.
All right, this body part makes up just 2% of a person's total body weight, yet it requires 25% of all oxygen used by the body.
Oh. How about your skin?
No, your skin I don't think needs a lot of oxygen.
Well, has to be funneled through the bloodstream and stuff. Let's see, 2% of the weight. Oh, how much does a human brain weigh?
8 pounds.
8 pounds? Well, that's pretty insignificant then. I'm trying to think of what would need a lot of oxygen.
You should have. You know what?
Brain.
You should have stopped at brain because that's the answer. You worked your way right. You talked yourself right out of the correct answer. That was awesome.
They normally do that.
What ubiquitous phrase was first seen in the Dallas Morning News in 1951?
Ubiquitous. Need to know what that means.
Well, I'll give you a hint, okay? It was a big change in the way people ate. What phrase was first seen in the Dallas Morning News in 1951? It's a catchphrase that we use as kind of a...
Fast food?
Yes, fast food. Good answer. Did I give you...
You led me by the nose.
Oh, good. Are you okay? All right. Who said this? No, I never thought about murder. I never could kill anybody, ever. Not that there aren't people who need killing. Who said it? Johnny Cash, Jerry Seinfeld, Clint Eastwood, or Dolly Parton?
I'm going to go with the most, one that you would think. I'm going to go with Dolly Parton.
No. Do you have a second guess?
Clint Eastwood.
It was Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow. Wow. Huh. Well, didn't he sing about Folsom Prison Blues or whatever it was?
Yep, he did. All right, breakfast bingo. Each answer begins with a corresponding letter in bingo. A 1980s comedy fantasy starring Michael Keaton as a ghost.
Michael Keaton, Beetle? No. What? Huh?
Quit talking yourself out of the correct answer. Thank you. Wow. I know this one. Cheese. All right.
I was trying to think if Beetlejuice was a ghost, I guess is what I was confused about.
He was.
Beetlejuice.
Just like Candyman. Don't say.
Candyman.
Oh. Something you put in a drink to cool it down.
Nice.
All right, you're almost halfway through bingo, Val. This natural wonder is located on the border between the United States and Canada.
Niagara Falls.
Yes, and I do once in a while, too. All right, it's what a jury. Gotta start over now. It's what
Guilty?
a jury. Huh? Yes.
I'll save you.
Wow. It's fruit that's also a color.
Orange.
Yay! And now say it in German.
Orange?
Yes. No, you just need to pronounce it angrier. Orange.
Oh, orange.
Yeah, that's the difference. Orange.
Okay.
All right. Hole in the headline. Guess the word that's missing. Police officers blank reattached after drunk driver bites it off. Nose, thumb, pinky toe.
I'm going to go with a thumb.
A police officer in Taiwan had to have his thumb reattached by surgeons after a drunk driver bit it off while resisting arrest.
Well, I was glad it wasn't the toe, because I was thinking, like, really? You took off your shoes?
I made him. I don't know. It sounds wrong. 2 out of 3 people do this while driving, and it's dangerous.
Oh, is it something odd? Or is it just talking on their phone?
No, it's not odd at all, and it's not anything to do with your phone. 2 out of 3 people do this, and it's not anything. It's not anything to do with your mouth.
Because I was going singing next, which would kill you in a second.
Yeah, especially when you put your head up. La! I can picture you doing Celine. Nope. That's a good one though. Yeah, and it falls right in with the tips I gave you because you're not using your mouth. Yeah. I can picture you going into Celine Dion in your Subaru though.
You know what? If I'm driving the car and singing, you better automatically take backup because I'm the lead singer in my own car.
Oh, sorry. I'll just hum with my nose plugged.
There you go.
It's impossible.
I'm trying to think of what else you would do in the car.
Besides talking, texting, and picking your nose. And eating.
Exactly.
It's not smoking. There's another thing you could do.
All right. Well,
it's not watching a movie. That's something else you could do.
Adjusting the radio station.
Nope. Speeding up at a yellow light.
Oh, that's just kind of dumb.
We all do it, though, don't we? We
all do it.
2 out of 3 people do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the person who sees a yellow light and goes, "Oh, I better slow down and not make this. I've got time, but I don't want to rush it."
That's right.
That's the way we all should drive, probably. Spy the lie. Your right lung takes in more air than your left one does. The world population of chickens is about equal to the number of people. When snakes are born with 2 heads, they feed each other instead of feeding themselves.
I'll go with the snake one.
It is a lie. They actually fight each other for the food. Surprisingly, people
don't seem like the touchy-feely sharing.
And surprisingly, people with 2 heads
reptile
do the same thing.
Oh.
But what happens if it swallows itself?
Swallows its own head?
Yeah.
Oh, leave it alone.
And I'm thinking it through.
Oh.
Yeah, what would happen in that? I do have something. Here it is. I know what'll happen. All right, trust me, Val. Trust me.
Why don't you do the world a favor and pull your lip over your head and swallow?
See?
Yeah.
Phobia game. All right, I'm going to give you a phobia, and you tell me, and I'll give you 2 choices. Victrophobia. Vitricophobia. Do I have to spell phobia, or can I just spell the first part?
Just the first part.
Vitrico. 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 Not a singer from Spain. Okay. Is vitricophobia the fear of stepfathers or the fear of surgery?
Oh, I am going to go with the fear of surgery.
It is the fear of stepfathers.
No.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Trypanophobia, the fear of injections or the fear of glass?
Trypanophobia. How about the fear of, what was it? I've even lost what it was.
Wow.
fear of glass, the other one.
Injections. Is that what you want? You want the injections? Yeah. It is trypanophobia, the fear of injections. You know, though, I actually think you should be afraid of the person with the needle rather than the needle.
Well, I think so.
Yeah. Equinophobia, fear of horses, fear of cars.
Equine would be horses.
That's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And amaxophobia, the fear of riding in vehicles or the fear of dark places.
Amaxophobia. We're going to go dark places.
It is the fear of riding in vehicles.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Well, it depends on who's driving, whether you have that phobia or not.
Oh, yeah, kinda. I would have that with anyone else but me. I think I drive just fine. It's everybody else in the car that gets freaked out when I doze off.
Or take the sidewalk.
Probably the safest place to be. All right, there's your bits and breaks for today. Wow, we're running really long. We're going to take a break, and we will come back with some odd news and some other tips to help you on your Tuesday. Stick around at Scott and Val right here on the big KCHW.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs, including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414.
Welcome to 2021 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
We got the Hispanics coming on our side, African Americans coming on our side. We're taking down the Biden regime.
Former Trump White House strategist Steve Bannon spoke as he surrendered to law enforcement Monday, appearing for a hearing after being indicted by a grand jury for defying a congressional subpoena. Bannon faces 2 charges of contempt of Congress for failing to appear for deposition before the January 6th committee and for refusing to provide documents to the panel. Former Democratic Texas State Representative Beto O'Rourke announced he will run for governor of the Lone Star State. In a fundraising email to supporters, he touted himself as a unity candidate. Here's O'Rourke criticizing Republican lawmakers.
They're focusing on the kind of extremist policies around abortion or permitless carry or even in our schools that really only divide us.
Democratic Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy, the longest-serving active member of the U.S. Senate, announced he'll retire after 8 terms. His last expected day is January 2nd, 2023. At a press conference, Leahy reflected on his career, which began when he was elected to the Senate in 1974.
And within just a few months of taking office, as the newest and by far most junior member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, we were asked to vote to reauthorize and continue the war in Vietnam.
President Biden signed an executive order addressing violence against Indigenous communities, particularly women. It directs the Departments of Justice, Interior, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services to create a strategy to improve public safety and justice for Native Americans. President of the Stockbridge-Munsee Band of Mohican Indians, Shannon Hosley, spoke Monday during a White House virtual summit with tribal leaders.
Tribal sovereignty and self-governance, as well as honoring the federal trust responsibility to tribal nations, should be the cornerstone of federal Indian policy.
Biden also signed the infrastructure bill and tapped former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu to coordinate implementation of the $1.2 trillion bipartisan legislation. Meanwhile, at the White House late Monday, President Biden met virtually with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The 2 leaders discussed trade, military aggression, and human rights. Finally, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, lawyers delivered closing arguments Monday in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenage gunman who fatally shot 2 people and wounded a third during protests last year over police brutality. I'm Nadia Ramlagan for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our 8 trust indicators to support transparency and accuracy at publicnewsservice.org.
There you go, KCHW 102.7. We are back. Scott and Val, my sister, live via Zoom from Deer Park. If you're just joining us today, we were kind of talking about it earlier, but the station, due to some COVID issues and guests and people and just trying to keep things safe after a couple close calls, we are back in lockdown here at KCHW. All right.
Same bat channel.
Yeah, so morning show, it really won't affect it. It's a little glitchier sometimes because everybody's coming in via Zoom, and sometimes we step on each other because of the delay, but it works pretty darn good. And it's cool because we still get to see each other, too. Even if you're not watching on Facebook or YouTube or our website, we get to still see each other. It makes it easier to interact like we're still together. Some distant 2D world.
You know, we see each other more than we ever have.
Yeah, just see, though. It's strange.
Uh-huh.
I watched a sci-fi movie about people where the Earth got so contaminated they had to live in pods and they could never come out. And some people were by themselves, so that was their only interaction was basically through the internet. You never saw anybody for years. And I was thinking,
wow.
I think everybody'd go crazy.
I think so. I mean, how important is human contact and human touch? Yeah, that would be really hard.
After 2 years, I'm almost crazy. Or
crazier.
Yeah. Last time I thought about it, some guy said,
something's wrong with you. Really.
Something is wrong with me. Let's take a look at celebrity birthdays for the big city of Chihuahua. And then Val's going to hook us up with some real ones. It is Tuesday, the 16th. Wow. Just blown through November. Thanksgiving's the 25th. We're like just a little more than a week away. So get those turkeys because I hear we're going to sell out. What's a good turkey substitute, Val?
There is no turkey substitute.
Oh,
no.
All right.
No, I guess it's ham, and that's the second choice, right?
Oh, we're going to be selling out of Boco, too. You know, the fake meat? Okay,
yeah, the vegetarian form, yes.
All right. For today, we have no birthdays, but we do have one anniversary. It's Tyler and Ashley Murray. Congratulations to them. If I back up to yesterday, the day I always skip, Monday, Ashley Kersey, Dalen Logan, Kamiko Love, Diana Kennedy, Patton Earl Thompson. Diane Kennedy. All right, there you go. Moving on to celebrity birthdays, Val.
All right, Marge Helgenberger from CSI is 63 today. Lisa Bonet is 54. She's about your age, Scott.
Isn't she married to Aquaman?
Do you think she's married to Jason Momoa?
She used to be.
Oh, I'll have to look that up, see who my competition is.
And I remember it was a big deal when they got married because she had 15 years on him or 20 years on him or something. So.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out.
Yep.
All right. Martha Plimpton is 51.
What a horrible name.
Yeah, do you know who that is?
She is an actress.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't do well. She didn't do well because of the last name.
Last name. Well, because normally they list what movies they've been in and stuff, and it was just nothing.
Exactly. Because of the last
name. Missy Pyle from Gone Girl, Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story is 49 today. Maggie Gyllenhaal is 44.
I can't believe you can say their last name.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it was, I'm impressed.
And then Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live is 28. And you know, Pete Davidson dates some really hot girls, and he is really
ugly.
was trying not to be that bad. He looks like a bit of a doofus.
He is. He's got bug eyes. He's tall and gangly, and women just love Pete Davidson. Wish I was Pete Davidson.
Well, and maybe, women often say that humor is the most attractive feature in a man. So maybe that's why, because he's a funny dude. But yeah, I mean, you look at Ariana Grande and is it Kim Kardashian, and I mean, he's just been with a ton of really good-looking women. So yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I said that to somebody one day. I said, yeah, I've been doing comedy. They asked me what I do, and I said, well, I've been doing comedy for about 30 years. And they went, I don't recognize you. And I said, well, I'm not very good at it.
I do it. I'm just not good at it.
I'm just not good at it. That's why you haven't heard of me. Still waiting to be discovered. Time's ticking. No, I think I got about 5 years left. All right. On to history. I call it Happened Today. We're going to start off in 1977 because nothing happened on November 16th before 1977 noteworthy at all. But what happened in 1977, Val? It was Close Encounters.
Of the third kind.
Really? The third?
Of just the third.
Just the third kind. All right. What did that mean?
I guess you've got your different kinds of encounters, right? You've got you saw a UFO. So saw you, because I'm thinking the third kind. You were abducted and then they actually landed. I mean,
okay.
I don't know.
All right. Can you remember the sound? Doo doo.
Yeah.
Doo doo. Yeah. All right. 1996, Mother Teresa received honorary U.S. citizenship.
Oh,
all right.
Cool.
She refused.
That's okay. Thank you, but I'm fine.
Yeah, no thanks.
God bless you anyway.
Also in
a couple Hail Marys as a nation.
Also in 96, the 127.5 million Jumbotron at Buffalo's HSBC Arena fell to the ice hours before a hockey game. No one was injured.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah, so much better, though, if it would have happened during a game and no one got hurt, though. That'd just be impressive. Game over, man. Game over. All right. 1999, Autobahn 33, a major German highway. Closed for several hours after a truck flipped and spilled 16 tons of apples on the highway. 3 cars and 2 trucks crashed as they slid on the smashed apples. Applesauce, 4 inches thick.
Grab your cinnamon and hit the highway.
Yes. 2001, first Harry Potter movie, The Sorcerer's Stone, released in theaters. 2012, Hostess Brands revealed its plan to file bankruptcy and liquidate its assets. On November 21st, 2012, a U.S. bankruptcy judge approved Hostess' request to shut down temporary ending Twinkie production in the United States.
One of the saddest days in history.
It was, this whole Twinkie thing. All right, on March 18th, 2013, it was reported that Twinkies would return to the stores in May of that year, and they tasted pretty much the same. And it was great because I was running out of those Stinkies I was selling.
You know, the best strawberry shortcake is made by cutting a Twinkie in half and putting strawberries over the top. So good.
Can we have that next week for Thanksgiving?
Oh, sure.
I think that'd be delicious.
For dessert?
Yeah.
For dessert?
Yeah, no, instead of turkey.
Oh. Oh.
Huh. I don't know. Sounds good. All right. 2019, 2 South Carolina roommates who contacted cops to report that their home was burglarized list the following items as stolen: frozen pizzas, hot dogs, a bottle of Jack Daniels, and the cremated remains of a relative.
So which did they miss more?
Uh-huh. All right, 2020, early data drug maker Moderna said its COVID-19 vaccine was 94.5% effective. And I bet you there's a lot of people right now that would argue that.
Although I kind of talked to you about this before we went on the air this morning, is we have a friend who had both vaccines and now is fighting COVID pneumonia. And it's like, if he hadn't had his vaccines, he'd be dead.
So the 2 people that I had been in contact with a couple weeks ago that came down with COVID were both vaccinated and said that they didn't even really feel sick. but they felt enough of a difference, stuffy nose, some aches and pains, that they got checked. A lot of false positives out there too. So who knows about that? But they were positive for it, and then the other person wasn't vaccinated, ended up in the hospital. So.
Mm-hmm. And so the people that are saying, well, you can still get COVID after getting vaccinated. Yes, it's a possibility, but I think we're looking at the difference between ending up in hospital and possibly dying compared to just not feeling very good for a few days.
Staying home and staying away from people, which you've already pretty much been doing for 2 years. All right, special events. Let's go to Val.
It's button day.
No.
Yeah.
What do we do with that?
I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to sew on those buttons that have been off your shirt for a year or so.
Or am I supposed to push more buttons?
Well, you can push my buttons all the time.
I can mute you right now too.
You could.
All right.
Hey, I think this is a great one for you. It's have a party with your bear day.
Like my teddy bear?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd sooner have a party with a real bear.
But they're hibernating or getting ready to do so.
So am I.
Perfect.
And I'm looking for someone who wants to share my den. Before I hibernate again for the winter.
Yeah.
All right.
Fast food day.
Mm-hmm. That goes back to our other thing.
It does, our earlier story.
Yeah.
It's check your windshield wipers day.
Oh, I noticed that. I used them the other day in the rain, and one of them tore off.
Yeah, it's a good time. You're going to be hitting more rain, snow, the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And finally, it's Entrepreneurs Day.
Or as I like to call them, entrepreneurs.
Some of those entrepreneurs have made lots of money, though.
Yeah, and what the nice thing about being an entrepreneur is you can make your own spaceship.
Or, create windows and...
Yeah. I think, though, if I was an entrepreneur, I'd make a spaceship. I get it.
You mean like Jeff or Elon Musk?
Which
Talk
one?
About yeah. He is a interesting man.
He's a weirdo.
But he was pretty funny on Saturday Night Live. If you didn't catch it,
I didn't know he was on. I'll go back and watch that and see if I get creeped out because he got.
Yeah, it was probably a couple months ago. But yeah, it was interesting because he's very odd, but it was still interesting.
All right, he I'm pretty sure. Just from the few times that I've seen him and even just pictures of him and stuff, I'm pretty sure he's a robot. I'm almost positive Elon Musk is a cyborg.
Well, he's on the autistic scale, so I suppose we shouldn't, make fun of him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
In that regard. But yeah, he's, evidently severely high functioning.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's why we see some of those idiosyncrasies in his behavior. But yeah.
All right. Number of the day, 4.6 million. It's the workers at U.S. fast food restaurants on Fast Food Day. And what was it, 1951? Was that what we decided earlier? Was the story had 1951?
Oh, so 59, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that they coined the term fast food.
Right.
All right, we're coming up on the top of the hour. We've got to do that thing we do and find some bacon and find some biscuits. And it's time to make breakfast with John Wayne. Yay!
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
We start off with a news attack where the first part's true and the second part is a bad joke. Val, will you kick us off on the news attack?
I would. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention added 4 countries to its list of very high-risk travel destinations, including Iceland.
Huh?
Yeah, which is really wild because, they covered from pretty much face to toe, pretty much year round. Yeah. You got to cover yourself all up. There's plenty of COVID protection, you would think.
Wow. It's funny. Because we're the worst, I think, in the nation. Well, Germany just surpassed us. But we still are number one in the amount of COVID deaths. We should put ourselves on our very high risk list of places not to travel.
Exactly. Are other countries finally letting us fly in? I don't know.
I don't think, if you heard on the news, at the national news, or international news, I should say, at 7:20, they were talking about how India opened up to almost every country. And what was that?
My phone vibrated. Sorry.
Sure. I thought you were in I thought you were sitting on a plastic chair. All right.
It was the cat.
Huh. Whatever. Sure it was. And now I can't remember what I was talking about.
Neither can I.
All right. Let's move on then. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is trying to make a political comeback. Okay.
Okay.
He's so serious he has replaced every on his chocolate ice cream stained ties. He's replaced every one of them.
Everyone. What's he going with? I don't know. What other thing you'd have? Strawberry stained ties?
When I see him, I see like that Austin Powers movie with the fat guy. Of course I'm not happy. I've got 2 chins.
That's so bad.
It is.
All right. In case nobody knew, there's a big holiday coming up. Yes. My neighbor roasted a turkey over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If his calculations are right, they should be just about finishing up the last of the leftovers on Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now there's an idea.
Cook it early and eat leftovers on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Huh.
Make it easier for you.
It would. It would. I just heat something in the microwave. Go, here you go, guys.
Here's your plate. Get out
Here's
of here.
your plate.
No seconds. All right. A study found that marijuana users are twice as likely to experience a type of acute heart stress that resembles a heart attack. And what do they prescribe for that? Well, medical marijuana.
Perfect.
All right.
A study found little kids can often tell how people are feeling, even if that person is wearing a face mask. My kids were never able to do that. That's because of all of the warm-blooded creatures roaming the planet, little kids can smell fear the most.
Dun, dun, dun. Researchers say if you had inherited the likelihood of heart disease from your parents, you can effectively override your genes by living a healthy lifestyle.
I'm due.
Of course, if you also inherited a comfy couch and a lifetime supply of nachos, you're toast.
Oh, nachos.
Oh, nachos, Doritos. That was our go-to. Well, you like the taco ones. Ugh.
I like the taco ones, but yeah, nacho or taco. I mean, it's Taco Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like I know what's for supper. Nachos. All right. According to British researchers, 70% of women require up to 20 minutes to decide whether or not to order dessert. So that's what they're talking about in the ladies' room.
I should have said that.
You should have. I should have said that's what we're talking about in the ladies' room.
I'm trying to pick up the best wine for our Thanksgiving dinner. Turns out it doesn't matter which bottle, it just matters that it comes in a case. Nah.
Or, your sister who has a whole cellar full of wine.
That's right. I was just saying, you just go downstairs and she appears with like 14 bottles in her arms.
Yeah, whatever I can carry at one time, and I've gotten pretty good.
All right. Have you been do you set any of your wine back and go, I'm going to see what this tastes like after 20 years?
I have never, I've only been making wine since 14. So,
since you were 14?
Since 2014.
I started making wine when I was 14. True story.
That's called prison wine in the toilet.
No. I made it in the eave of the big house there outside what used to be the 49er. The big eave.
You did?
Yeah, I brewed some wine in there. Huh?
I have never tried to save any that long, mainly because my wines are what would be referred to as a country wine, made with fruit, and I really don't think they'd hold up that long.
You don't think they'd age well, huh?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Moving on to Wacky But True, and just to tell you how much we care about you, there was a really dirty one, and we scrapped it.
Yeah.
Just
it
for
was
you.
it was too much.
But the sad thing is, it actually happened. It actually happened. Okay.
It's sad and scary and creepy and weird.
Yes. Yeah. And scarier than that, there's probably a video.
Hold on. I've got a kitten who is about to attack the camera, maybe. So if things go weird for a minute, you know why.
If all of a sudden you're sideways?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So should I start Wacky But True then?
Please do.
All right. A man in China smashed up 2 ATMs while drunk. He told police he was angry because the displayed time on the screen didn't match the one on his phone.
And the response from the police officer was,
I'll buy that for $1.
how angry do you have to be about the time?
But the first time was wrong.
I checked my phone.
Cry havoc! And let's slip the dogs of war.
Oh, goodness.
That's the best line Christopher Plummer ever gave. All right, I get the awesome cow story. Sorry, Val. Cow in Brazil has become
I'll share.
Your turn? Okay. He's become a viral sensation after it escaped being killed at a slaughterhouse by going to a water park. And going for a ride. That's right. Bizarre story starts at a cattle ranch some 500 miles west of Rio de Janeiro, where our heroic bovine friend was pegged to be slaughtered. The cow escaped by bolting from the ranch and taking sanctuary in a neighboring water park. Ooh. And like any would do at a water park, the cow decided to enjoy himself and literally went down one of the water slides.
Wow.
Oh, man. In footage shared on YouTube, the cow can be seen slowly sidewalking down the chute. The obviously distressed animal appears to be struggling to find its footing before deciding to sit down around 3/4 of the way down the slide, narrowly missing out on the big splash at the end, landing on a small child.
Oh, no, he did not land on a small child.
No, I said or. Big splash at the end, or landing. So, no, he didn't. The cow's daring escape won over the owner of the cattle ranch, who has since decided to keep the animal as a pet for life and named it Toboga, which in Portuguese means slide. And yes, it's on YouTube. So you know what everybody's going to be doing today?
Yes, I'm going to be doing it
as soon as we're
done.
As soon as we're off the air, I'm Googling that baby. Huh. You know, I wish we had a show producer because they could be pulling it up right now and we could restream it so people could just see it that we're watching the show.
Oh, all right. If only there was money to pay one.
I know. We need money.
We need money.
I wonder if I could do like the Green Bay Packers and sell fake shares.
I think you should try.
Okay.
That or merchandise.
Okay. All right.
A possum has been released without charge after it held a woman hostage at her home. New Zealand police received a call late on Sunday night from a distressed woman who said a possum was holding her hostage. When she would try to exit her house and attempt to reach the car, the possum would charge at her and she would have to flee back inside. When the police arrived and approached the front door, a juvenile possum came out of the dark and climbed an officer's leg. The officer suspected it was either an escaped pet or had recently been separated from its mother.
So he didn't attack him, because I've almost been attacked by a possum before. They do not play dead. That's a joke.
I have never seen a possum in real life.
Oh, an angry possum is quite vicious. I mean, they've got fangs and teeth bigger than your cat's, and they want to show them to you.
You mean the cat that's just chewing on me right now?
Yeah, so when he was going up his leg, I was thinking something bad was going to happen. Not that he would look up at the police officer and say,
I look at you and I'm home.
Oh, I'm so bummed. During the last cow story that we just did about the cow that went down the water slide, I forgot one thing the story was missing. What do you think it was, Val?
Something funny?
No, more cowbell. And then I had this one, too, after the guy took him back to his farm and named the cow Slide.
Well, looks like the cows have come home to roost.
Sorry, I needed to work that in.
I'm sorry we missed it at the time.
All right. I think it's me.
Yes.
A Chicago couple traveling through the Florida Keys in their boat ended up calling the police when they found a surprising stowaway. Jim Hart and Sandy Screw...
Schwart?
Wow, that's not even Polish.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and if I say it like it sounds like a dirty word. So I'm going to skip it.
Okay.
All right. Jim Hart and Sandy said they were docked at Morocco Island when they found a 7-foot Burmese python, which apparently slithered aboard the previous night near the Indian Key on the edge of the Everglades. These people must be rich. The snake was hiding in their boat's shower. Yep, they're rich. How many boats have a shower? Yeah. Marco Island police safely captured the snake and turned it over to a local wildlife handler. Oh, wow. Just trying to think of a snake, like, in a shower.
Yeah.
It's making a lot of noise. Oh, there's the water.
But if you take a picture, it'll last longer.
Sickos. Sickos.
I feel like we're back at News Attack. It was a bad attempt at a joke.
It was. All right, you're up then. You try.
All right. The search is on for a man who is suspected of harassing a student near the University of Pittsburgh campus. Police say a man continually tried to drape a blanket around a student's shoulders on Sunday. Police also believed he may have tried the same thing with other students. He's just worried about your health and well-being.
Yeah, it goes down kind of like this.
It's okay. Daddy's here. Daddy's got you.
Not like the guy in jail who tried to wrap me in a blanket.
Who is your daddy?
It's a joke. I've never been to jail.
I thought you were going to say it's a joke. Nobody's ever said that to me.
Thanks, Val. All right, a barrier. I had a hard time choosing what story to do here because the first one was, well, we don't know exactly where it took place. A trail cam caught what happened when a mountain lion decided to strike its prey. Unfortunately for the victim, the target was a decoy deer. Which had to be highly disappointing for the lion.
He ate it anyway.
More lion news, right? Count them, 2 lion stories. A barrier separates visitors at the lions at the New York Bronx Zoo, but it didn't stop one woman from jumping into the enclosure. What was she wearing? A blonde wig and a bouquet of roses. She danced. She screamed at the lions, and then she threw $100 bills at them. More rich people.
Weren't they supposed to be throwing it at her if she's the one doing the dance?
I would think so. Maybe she was hoping that they would give them back. She's believed to be a Brooklyn animal lover, Maya Autry, and she has been previously pulled similar stunts and been arrested for them.
Well, if she can throw $100 bills at lions, she has the money to pay those fines as well.
You know what happens when you dance with lions?
What?
What's going to happen? Something wonderful.
And how about the lion that jumped on the deer? Decoy.
Do you know what this is? This, my friends, is false advertising.
I thought it was more like entrapment.
Entrapment, that's right. All right, that is our show today. I'm sorry we ran a little past the top of the hour. I hope you didn't have somewhere to be, Val.
I had nowhere to be.
Excellent. I mean, yeah, neither do I. All right.
And the rest of the day will be spent continuing to hold a 9-week-old.
That's right. And due to the COVID surge, sadly, our nighttime programs are on hiatus a little while while we do another lockdown here at the studios. But the morning show will continue. Everybody's zoomed in. I was kind of worried about Philip because he lives out in the Tules and doesn't have good internet, but I think he got that. He said he has internet now, and I know he was getting that Elon Musk, strangely enough, the guy we were talking about. So he's got that. Do you know what it's called? Like Spylink or Starlink or something.
Starlink, isn't it?
Something like that. Anyway, so we've even got, so it looks like everybody will be on the morning show via Zoom this week. So things there still going smoothly. Apologize about the nighttime shows and to our nighttime DJs. I know they hate it, but just trying to keep everybody safe after several close calls right here in the studio. I'm so worried.
Well, and some of your nighttime DJs certainly can't afford to get COVID.
No, we're all kind of old, and to be like this.
Gosh, I'm getting sick. You smell like after-shaving taco meat. Yes, I do.
I don't know. It wasn't the right one. It was supposed to say your taco meat, pal. All right. I hope this works. We'll try this one.
Thank you so much for being my friends.
Yeah! That's it!
You can do it!
That is our show for today. I'm Scott.
And I'm Val.
That's my sister. Love you, sister.
Love you, brother.
All right, we'll talk to you next Tuesday. Thanks for being here with me. Other than that, tonight, instead of Tom Walters, recordings of Tom Walters, a.k.a. Dr. Jazz, from 6 to 9. There you go. It's KCHW 102.7. Don't forget, in your mailbox, membership renewal. Support public radio. Thank you in advance. If you don't get a membership form, you can do it online at kchw.org. Have a great day. Say something, Val.
Have a great day.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Be sure to catch Dr. Jazz on KCHW 102.7 FM every Tuesday night at 6. 3 hours of great jazz music.